Hair finally breaks the silence, and this podcast moment sent shockwaves everywhere. Los Angeles, January 30, 2026. In a tense, emotional podcast episode released Sunday night on SiriusXM Originals and Peacock, Prince Harry opened up in a way no one expected. The episode, part of the limited series Unfiltered with Harry, was hosted by Emmy-winning late-night star Jimmy Kimmel. His steady presence added weight, but it was Harry's strained, emotional delivery that carried the moment. "This isn't about Hollywood anymore. This is about respect, clarity, and truth," Harry said, pausing before dropping the statement that instantly dominated headlines. "I am moving forward with a press conference in London this February to publicly confirm my intention to legally separate from Meghan Markle." The reaction online was immediate and intense. The conversation was recorded quietly in a West Hollywood studio on January 26th, just days before release. Sitting across from Kimmel in a simple black crew neck with no ring visible, Harry described feeling deeply hurt and emotionally exhausted as a parent. He confirmed what many suspected but had never heard directly. Meghan left their Montecito home on January 23rd without notice and told him she was finished putting on appearances, according to Harry. Her explanation stunned him. She said she had connected with someone she believed better aligned with her future goals and public image. He claimed the individual was a Middle Eastern royal figure, unnamed but described as influential and well-established. Harry didn't lash out. He sounded worn down, calmly laying out how things unraveled behind closed doors. Late-night phone calls at 3 a.m., quiet deliveries of high-end items from brands like Cartier and Hermès, plus rare fragrances, were first brushed off as possible brand outreach. But according to Prince Harry, everything shifted the night she left. He claimed she looked him straight in the eyes and said, "Those aren't gifts. They're from him." That moment hit hard. "He wants me to represent his house, his name. He's making me a princess, not of England, but of the New World," Harry said she told him. According to his account, she openly dismissed the British monarchy as outdated and rigid, saying she was done playing a ceremonial role. Harry paused, hands shaking, his voice barely steady through the mic. "What truly broke him," he said, "wasn't the separation. It was hearing their children repeat phrases that didn't sound age-appropriate, delivered like lines they'd practiced." That moment cut deep. As the episode continued, Harry described an environment he said felt increasingly dismissive and isolating. He claimed she mocked his influence in the US, telling friends that the industry only wants headlines, and she had plenty to offer. He also alleged repeated comparisons between his finances and those of her new associate, described as a global property owner with residences in Monaco, Dubai, and Paris. The contrast, he said, was constant and intentional. Harry also claimed his phone was taken for several days after Christmas, allegedly explained as a security precaution. When Jimmy Kimmel asked if he ever felt at ease at home, Harry answered instantly, "Never." He said he felt like a background extra in his own life, present but unheard. Near the end, the conversation turned procedural. Harry confirmed his attorney filed preliminary legal paperwork in Los Angeles on January 29th, signaling his intent to seek primary parental responsibility and a full financial review under California family statutes. The tone shifted, but the tension stayed loud. According to legal filings, Stanford's team plans to argue that marital trust was broken when Meghan openly announced a new romantic connection while still legally married. They also claim her departure from the family home crossed a legal line, while asserting that Prince Harry served as the more consistent hands-on parent, supported by school-related records, caregiver statements, and internal household communications. Although Meghan Markle did not appear on the podcast, Harry shared what he described as her final words before leaving. "I don't want the kids. I don't want your name. I don't want your chaos. You can keep them and the therapy bills," he quoted, his voice tight and shaken. He claimed those words marked a point of no return. Harry also alleged that, even before the separation became public, Meghan had begun dismantling their shared Montecito setup. He said mail was redirected, joint accounts were temporarily restricted, and brand-related rights were transferred from their shared venture to a newly formed Dubai-based LLC under her name. Every move, he suggested, was calculated. By January 30th, multiple legal exchanges had reportedly taken place between both sides. Meghan's legal team, said to be led by celebrity attorney Laura Melrose, declined early settlement talks. Instead, they allegedly pushed for a full financial process while stepping back from parental responsibility claims altogether. Legal analysts say that move is unusual. Some call it strategic. Others see emotional distance. Harry summed it up bluntly. She wants the empire, not the family. And as the public continues reacting to Harry's emotional podcast appearance on January 28th, it's clear this story is only entering a deeper phase. What follows won't play out on podcasts or red carpets. It's unfolding quietly, inside legal offices and courtrooms, where reputations, finances, and a once polished public image are now being taken apart piece by piece. After Harry's podcast aired, legal analysts across the UK and US jumped in fast. His legal team, led by family law specialist James L. Stanford, submitted a preliminary separation filing with the Los Angeles County Superior Court on January 29th. While not finalized, the document reportedly outlines claims of voluntary absence, emotional strain, and a breakdown of marital trust, phrased carefully under California family statutes. Under California Family Code Section 760, assets gained during marriage are generally treated as shared. However, Harry's counsel is said to be invoking Section 4320, which allows the court to weigh factors like emotional impact, household stability, and parental involvement when reviewing support and asset division. That shift could change everything. A leaked excerpt from the filing reportedly states that Prince Harry has been the more consistent day-to-day parent in recent months, while Meghan Markle has gradually stepped back from the home environment. The filing emphasizes structure, routine, and financial clarity as central concerns. In simple terms, Harry is requesting primary parental responsibility for both children, citing statements he claims Meghan made expressing her desire to step away from active parenting and public royal life. He told podcast listeners that on the night of January 23rd, she allegedly said, "You can keep them. I've carried this role long enough." The words landed heavy. Harry recalled her saying she no longer wanted to live within royal expectations or emotional pressure. Later that evening, he said she packed several suitcases, declined official security arrangements, and boarded a private jet departing from Burbank with stops through Paris before landing in Dubai. He claimed she was met by representatives connected to a Middle Eastern royal household. What started as a podcast moment has now turned into a serious legal crossroads, one that's unfolding far from cameras, but with consequences that reach far beyond the headlines. Meghan Markle's legal team did not challenge the timeline, but issued a tight, carefully worded statement on January 30. Our client respectfully declines to comment on speculation. She is focused on her next chapter and will respond to legal matters through the proper legal channels, the statement read, citing court filings and verified financial documentation. Behind the scenes, attention has shifted to the couple's shared assets, and the numbers are serious. The Montecito estate is estimated at $14 million, currently carrying an $11.8 million mortgage through First Republic Bank. Streaming development funds total roughly $6 million remaining from a larger original deal, while a $1.2 million podcast advance paid by Spotify was halted after the agreement paused in late 2025. Their joint business venture, Archewell-related holdings, is valued near $4.5 million, but remains temporarily frozen pending a financial review involving federal and state agencies. Luxury items, including jewelry, designer apparel, and accessories, are estimated at $2.8 million and have now become a major point of dispute. Harry's legal side claims several high-value items were personally delivered to Meghan and later reclassified as personal gifts from her new partner. Meghan's team counters that these items were legitimate business-related perks tied to partnerships. Harry's counsel argues otherwise, insisting the items should be included in the separation review due to how they were received. One source close to the filings summed it up bluntly. When expensive luxury pieces arrive without documentation and are later linked to a personal relationship, it raises serious questions. After factoring in mortgage debt, paused income streams, legal fees, and possible tax exposure, this financial face-off is far from settled, and it's only getting louder. Financial analysts now estimate that less than $3.5 million in accessible funds remain from the couple's shared estate. Around $2 million is reportedly held in pending media escrow tied to Penguin Random House, while up to $850,000 could be affected by the ongoing Archewell-related financial review. That leaves roughly $1.4 million unallocated, and Prince Harry has requested that amount be set aside as a down payment for a modest countryside home in Surrey, should he be permitted to return to the UK with primary parental responsibility. In the final minutes of the podcast, Harry revealed a move that stunned even his most supportive listeners. Speaking slowly and carefully, he said that if official channels refuse to recognize his request to return home with his children, he may be forced to pursue temporary third-party care arrangements while continuing legal efforts to secure long-term stability. The statement landed heavy. When Jimmy Kimmel asked whether that was an emotional reaction or a serious consideration, Harry didn't hesitate. "It's the only option I have left," he said. "They took my name, my country, and now I'm fighting for my family." His words echoed long after the episode ended. Under California law, Harry may apply for an emergency guardianship adjustment if he formally declares a temporary inability to provide stable housing. Many observers believe the move would be symbolic, but one that could quietly push high-level negotiations behind closed doors. The timeline is now locked in. January 29th, initial separation filing. February 12th, formal petition submitted. March 18th, preliminary parental hearing scheduled. April 1st, proposed date for financial arbitration. Every step is being watched closely. Royal commentators and legal analysts agree this may become the most closely followed separation since Charles and Diana. But this time, the roles are reversed. One side already walked away from palace life, while the other is fighting for a path back. And while Harry's voice dominated headlines after the January 28th podcast, an even quieter battle was unfolding across borders, one with consequences that stretch far beyond the spotlight. Meghan Markle's sudden exit from Montecito wasn't described by observers as a simple walkaway. It looked strategic and tightly managed. Multiple reports began circulating about new international connections, quiet alliances, and a fast-moving PR push aimed at repositioning her within a very different kind of elite circle. According to private aviation records cited by multiple outlets, a Gulfstream G650 registered to a Qatar-based holding company departed Burbank at 10:12 p.m. on January 23rd. The flight routed through Paris before redirecting to an executive terminal in Abu Dhabi. No official passenger list was released, but the timing immediately raised eyebrows. Eyewitnesses at Burbank's private terminal later reported seeing Meghan accompanied by security, several designer suitcases, and an unidentified man in traditional Gulf attire, referred to only as Mr. AR in aviation notes. Within days, uncaptioned photos appeared in regional tabloids showing Meghan entering Dubai's Royal Emirates Club, a venue typically reserved for Gulf royal families and invited guests. No formal confirmation followed, but diplomatic commentators quietly pointed toward a younger member of a Bahraini ruling household. Described as internationally educated, media-savvy, and deeply invested in influence through culture and philanthropy, the speculation spread fast. What truly surprised longtime watchers came next. Audio clips, attributed to a private security source and circulated cautiously online, allegedly captured Meghan referring to her new supporter as a real prince, contrasting him with what she called outdated systems. In another clip, she's heard saying she sees her future outside traditional Western media pathways. The implication was massive. Analysts began suggesting Meghan wasn't chasing headlines anymore. She was exploring influence through Gulf diplomacy, fashion, philanthropy, and cultural elevation, a pivot away from Hollywood noise and toward quieter, powerful rooms where titles aren't tweeted, but recognized. If true, this marks not just a relocation, but a full reinvention. And while official confirmations remain absent, one thing is clear: Meghan's next chapter may be unfolding far from Windsor, and far from the cameras that once defined her story. Just days before Harry's podcast dropped, Meghan's camp quietly secured 3 domain names tied to a fresh brand identity. The names included Sapphire Crescent Initiative, House of Light Foundation, and Beyond Titles, all registered through a Dubai-based agency known for managing reputation resets for high-profile Gulf figures and displaced European elites. No official launch announcement followed, but insiders suggest Meghan is preparing a women's empowerment platform spanning the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, reportedly backed by private capital. The aim, sources say, is to move beyond the victim of the crown narrative and rebuild influence in regions where British titles carry less weight than discretion, polish, and proximity to power. Within 48 hours of Harry's podcast, a wave of favorable opinion pieces surfaced across Al Jazeera English, Arab News, and Vogue Arabia. The tone was consistent, carefully balanced between reporting and image positioning. The articles framed Meghan as a woman reclaiming her authority, a cultural bridge between East and West, and an advocate for women navigating restrictive systems. Notably, none referenced Harry directly, nor did they mention the children or earlier public interviews. The focus stayed firmly on vision, partnerships, and a controlled new chapter. When questioned by journalists from the BBC about the absence of family references in her latest branding efforts, her publicist responded bluntly, "This is not about personal disputes. This is about legacy, culture, and global alignment." The message was clear and deliberate. Buckingham Palace has issued no formal response. However, senior aides reportedly confirmed that King Charles III was unsettled by the Gulf-related developments, particularly after receiving briefings suggesting Meghan had engaged in informal cultural discussions with regional leaders as early as November 2025. Quiet moves, big implications, and the story keeps widening. Palace insiders are reportedly calling this move a reverse Diana strategy. Instead of using vulnerability to win public sympathy, they say Meghan Markle is trading Western royal tradition for international prestige. One senior royal aide, speaking anonymously, claimed this goes beyond personal fallout. "This isn't emotional, it's geopolitical," the source said, suggesting Meghan is attempting to redirect influence from west to east. As her reported Middle Eastern alignment strengthens, insiders say Prince Harry finds himself increasingly boxed in, financially strained, emotionally isolated, and navigating complex legal pressure. According to observers, his remaining leverage lies with public transparency and his role as a parent. That's why many say the podcast wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. "She thinks she's leaving me behind," Harry said near the end of the episode. "But I still have something. She wants the truth, and our children deserve to hear it one day." The statement reframed the podcast as a counter-move rather than a breakdown. What's unfolding now stretches across continents and cultures, driven by 2 very different visions of influence. One path centers on openness and healing, the other leans toward elevation through global alliances. The divide couldn't be sharper, and while the fallout spans borders, many analysts say the emotional weight lands closest to home. In this chapter of our exclusive series, attention turns to how 2 young royals, Archie Harrison and Lilibet Diana, have become central pressure points in a transatlantic separation that could challenge long-standing royal and legal norms. Harry's admission that he may need to explore temporary third-party care options if blocked from returning home with his children unsettled many observers. Family law specialists noted the seriousness of such a statement. His voice cracked as he clarified, "I'm not making threats. I'm asking for peace. I just want to raise my children safely in my own country." The moment hit hard, and the stakes have never felt higher. "Then I may have to place them in neutral care until I can secure their future." The shock wasn't just in Harry's words. It was in what they legally implied. In California, family courts, statements like this can be interpreted as a request for a temporary guardianship adjustment, a rarely used provision typically considered only during housing instability or unresolved jurisdiction issues. Under California Family Code, sections 3010 and 3011, both parents generally hold equal custodial rights. However, Harry's legal team is reportedly citing multiple concerns tied to absence and disengagement following January 23rd. They allege the departure occurred without formal coordination regarding ongoing care, schooling routines, or emotional support planning. According to filings, remarks attributed to Meghan, framed as dismissive toward shared responsibilities, are being presented as indicators of reluctance to co-parent. The petition also claims limited follow-up contact since the departure, with no documented virtual check-ins or visitation requests reflected in court-admitted communication logs. These points are now bundled into an emergency custody review scheduled for March 18, 2026, before Maria Sanchez, a veteran judge known for handling complex, high-profile family matters within the Los Angeles County Superior Court. In one of the most personal moments of the podcast, Harry shared how he became concerned after noticing his children repeating phrases that didn't seem age-appropriate. He described realizing they may have overheard adult conversations they couldn't fully understand. For him, it wasn't about blame. It was a warning sign. Harry explained that bedtime routines began to change, with the children appearing quieter and more uncertain, asking questions that reflected confusion rather than intention. He emphasized that these moments weren't shared to assign fault, but to explain why he believes stability and routine matter now more than ever. What listeners heard wasn't panic. It was urgency, and as legal proceedings move forward, this chapter underscores just how much is riding on decisions that will soon be made behind closed courtroom doors. They're being rewritten in real time, Harry said, and I'm fighting not just for custody, but for their identity. His words cut deep, framing the fight as something bigger than paperwork. It's about who his children become. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle has formally declined to seek custody. Her attorney submitted a declaration on January 30th, stating that Meghan will not contest full parental responsibility, provided Harry assumes all legal and financial obligations required under California law. In plain terms, she's willing to let Harry raise the children as long as she isn't pursued for support payments or future claims tied to disengagement. That stance stunned legal analysts. Family law consultant Lindsay Rourke noted that it's highly unusual in California, especially for a public figure, to step away from custody without requesting shared time, structured contact, or even public narrative protection. She suggested the move signals either true detachment or a broader strategy that places the children outside Meghan's next phase. Behind the gates of Buckingham Palace, sources say the situation is far more fragile than it appears. While Prince William has remained publicly silent, insiders claim he has declined to offer formal refuge to Harry until custody issues are legally settled. The concern? Triggering international complications. According to aides, Princess Anne is deeply concerned for the children, but cautious. Bringing them to the UK without full legal clearance could ignite cross-border disputes, especially if Meghan establishes residency or legal ties in the Gulf region. Both children currently hold dual US-UK citizenship. However, under the Hague Convention governing international custody matters, relocating them without signed approval could spark civil action, even amid claims of disengagement. To counter that risk, Harry's legal team is preparing a motion seeking sole relocation authority, citing his role as the children's primary residence provider since December 2025. The legal chessboard is tightening, and every move now carries global consequences. The motion cites limited involvement in schooling decisions, medical coordination, and long-term guidance, along with Meghan's stated lack of interest in visitation or shared parenting plans. If approved, the ruling would allow Prince Harry to legally relocate with the children to the UK as early as May 2026, barring any appeals. And as this custody fight intensifies, public sentiment is clearly shifting. An overnight poll conducted by YouGov UK on January 30 showed 61% of respondents support Harry retaining full parental responsibility. A striking 72% said Meghan's new direction appears incompatible with active parenting, while just 11% agreed with stepping away from financial or visitation structures altogether. Online forums, especially parenting and expat communities, have rallied hard, sharing personal stories of separation, cross-border custody confusion, and legal limbo. For Meghan, insiders suggest the children represent a closed chapter. For Harry, they are everything. If I fail to protect them from this storm, he said emotionally, then I don't deserve the Windsor name. Not because I left, but because I didn't fight. The line hit like a gut punch. While emotions and custody claims dominate headlines, a quieter battle is unfolding in spreadsheets, contracts, and audits. In this installment, attention turns to the financial unraveling of Harry and Meghan's shared enterprise, an empire now under intense scrutiny. Founded in 2020, the Archewell Foundation launched with major visibility and bold promises. But by late 2025, the nonprofit reportedly faced regulatory questions, including delayed filings and inconsistent tracking practices. A leaked memo attributed to the California Department of Justice, dated November 14, 2025, flagged concerns that have since drawn broader attention. What began as a mission-driven venture is now part of a complex financial review, one that could reshape reputations, partnerships, and the future of a once-united brand. The storm isn't just emotional anymore. It's financial, and it's closing in fast. Regulators reportedly flagged repeated gaps in required quarterly disclosures under state nonprofit rules, issues that sources say led to a temporary pause on operational activity. According to individuals close to the review, the Archewell Foundation saw its primary account, held with First Horizon Bank, restricted on December 7, 2025, pending clarification around the origin of more than $4.2 million in bundled contributions. Those funds allegedly arrived through a Dubai-based philanthropic intermediary linked to Meghan's evolving international circle. Early forensic reviews reportedly raised concerns, including roughly $6 million assigned to cross-border initiatives without matching documentation. Additional entries showed about $850,000 in high-end vendor reimbursements categorized as wellness and leadership, including purchases associated with Cartier and Chanel. Investigators also noted more than $400,000 transferred to an entity listed as MW International Projects, an organization with no visible staffing or California business registration. An internal report later obtained by investigative journalist Fiona Cutler claimed that 2 senior advisors resigned in December, citing a breakdown in transparency and financial commitments made without full board authorization. As of January 31st, the foundation remains under both state and federal review. Public fundraising has been paused, and partner organizations, including Global Citizen and Better Up, have issued statements placing collaborations on hold pending clarification. Harry's legal team now argues that shared funds may have been redirected into personal influence projects under the banner of joint philanthropy. His attorney, James Stanford, stated that the money was raised under a shared public identity, but allegedly used in ways unrelated to family or charitable benefit. The filing references California fiduciary duty standards between spouses and CTs, a reported $1.2 million transfer from Archewell-related accounts to a Dubai-based LLC known as Crescent Horizon Ventures on January 30th. The review is ongoing, but the financial spotlight just got a lot brighter. Just weeks before Meghan's departure, a series of high-end travel and lifestyle expenses reportedly surfaced in financial reviews. First-class Emirates flights, luxury resort stays tied to cultural diplomacy engagements, and even a $95,000 Birkin bag purchased through a French distributor were flagged as being charged to an account associated with shared Archewell-related funds. Meghan's team has declined to comment on individual transactions, citing ongoing audits, but maintains that all spending supported legitimate brand development and international relationship-building efforts. According to the UK-based analyst firm Crestmont Advisors, Meghan's accessible net worth as of January 31st is said to rely heavily on undisclosed future arrangements with Gulf-based partners and potential asset conversions linked to new ventures. In simple terms, fluid, unverified, and exposed to risk. Her known holdings reportedly include a luxury inventory estimated near $2 million, plus equity tied to a not-yet-launched media fund backed by Saudi entrepreneur Tariq al-Nassar. There is also mention of a Cayman Islands trust believed to have been established after 2023, though without public disclosure. With Archewell-related accounts restricted and previous streaming deals paused or ended, analysts say her ability to demonstrate long-term financial stability in court could be challenged. That opens a path for Prince Harry's legal team to argue material imbalance and seek a adjusted division of remaining shared assets. At the center of it all is the Montecito estate, the most disputed physical asset in the case. Purchased in 2020 for $14.6 million, the 18,000-square-foot property is currently mortgaged at $11.8 million under a variable rate loan. Records show missed payments in late 2025 and property tax liens totaling $43,000 filed by Santa Barbara County. Harry is now requesting permission to sell the home before foreclosure risk increases and use the remaining estimated equity, around $2.1 million after costs, to purchase a modest countryside property in Surrey, UK, where he hopes to raise Archie and Lilibet if relocation is approved. Legal analysts agree, while the money is significant, the real battle is over narrative control. Meghan's shift toward Middle Eastern royal-adjacent circles is being framed publicly as a spiritual and philanthropic evolution. But inside courtrooms and balance sheets, every detail is being weighed, and nothing is just symbolic anymore. Harry's legal team argues this wasn't a reinvention, it was an exit from accountability. According to his attorney, James Stanford, Meghan was aware that Archewell-related structures were under strain and chose distance over disclosure. Rather than face tightening oversight, Stanford claimed in a media briefing, she aligned herself with systems where scrutiny is limited and questions come slower. The statement landed hard. Meanwhile, Prince Harry has continued releasing carefully worded updates through legal channels and podcast platforms. He's now calling for a full forensic financial review to be made public, arguing that transparency is the only way to restore trust. A draft of that report is expected to surface during the financial arbitration hearing set for April 1, 2026. Public sentiment appears to be shifting fast. A Morning Consult survey found that 67% of U.S. respondents support a comprehensive audit of Archewell-related finances. An even higher 73% believe Harry should take control of any remaining foundation assets, while 58% say Meghan's departure has damaged the organization's credibility beyond recovery. For many supporters, Archewell once symbolized modern royal reinvention. Now, it's become central evidence in a broader reckoning, not just about a marriage ending, but about what happens when legacy turns into leverage. As January faded into February, private fractures exploded into public scrutiny. Over just 10 days, financial records entered review, custody disputes intensified, and reputations came under pressure. What was once handled behind closed doors is now unfolding in full view, and a royal reckoning feels unavoidable. The first public court session in the Sussex separation has now been scheduled for March 18, 2026 at the Los Angeles County Superior Court, Division 7C. Presiding will be Maria Sanchez, known for her firm but balanced handling of high-profile family and asset cases. As of now, Meghan has not confirmed whether she will appear in person or remotely, but all eyes will be watching. Harry's legal team insists he will testify publicly, and soon. A formal press conference is planned for February 14, 2026 in London, just hours before he departs the U.S. under temporary custody travel permissions. On that day, Prince Harry is expected to stand at Clarence House, flanked by UK legal counsel to officially confirm the divorce filing. He is expected to outline his case for sole parental responsibility for Archie and Lilibet, call for a full financial review of Archewell-related entities, and reaffirm his intention to return to royal service in a limited humanitarian-focused role. Leaked notes from prepared remarks close with a striking line: "I left for peace. I returned for truth. My children will grow up with clarity, not conflict." The moment is set to resonate worldwide. From her private residence in Dubai's Emirates Crown Tower, Meghan Markle has remained publicly silent. Her legal representatives are expected to issue a written response on February 15th, denying any financial misconduct and emphasizing the importance of cultural balance for the children. They maintain her move to the Gulf reflects global service ambitions, not avoidance. No additional court filings have been submitted on her behalf since January 30th. What once appeared to be a bold reinvention of modern royalty now stands fractured. Archewell is suspended and under review. The Montecito home faces financial strain. The children remain in legal uncertainty. And a marriage once framed as transformational now ends amid international divisions. For Harry, this marks the beginning of a long road toward restoration. For Meghan, it signals a public redefinition far from British shores. And for the world watching, it closes the chapter on what was once called the new royal wave. "This isn't about winning," Harry told Jimmy Kimmel in the podcast that sparked it all. "It's about surviving with honor and making sure the next chapter is written with integrity, not illusion." And as February begins, so does the final chapter of a love story turned legal epic. If this breakdown gave you clarity, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives you won't hear anywhere else. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think, and don't miss what's coming next, because this story isn't over yet. See you in the next one.